Ladies and gentlemen, as I've said, we have developed a vision for Europe from the perspective of ERT members, not only by engaging the chief executives of the ERT members, but also many experts from their companies as well as stakeholders in the policy-making sphere who contributed both to the development of the vision and to the formulation of more specific recommendations that we believe should guide policy action throughout the EU over the next 5 years. The final product, the publication you will receive today, is a vision shared by all ERT members. If there was any doubt about it, our process has confirmed that Europe is facing a complex set of challenges. And the brochure reflects that. It first outlines our overall ERT vision and then goes into greater detail on 5 specific aspects. And for each of these aspects, we specify, as Leif has indicated, implications for overall policy directions in the EU, and we give more specific recommendations for policy action. And of course, in the context of this afternoon, it's impossible to introduce that in great depth to all of you. So I encourage you to take the publication with you, read it in detail, and I can assure you, you won't regret it. Now let me be clear from the outset. ERT's vision is not a prediction of the future. We do not even make an assumption on the likelihood of our vision materializing. What we're trying to do is to help guide policy choices in a direction that appears to us both desirable and achievable. But it will require bold policy thinking and tough choices. And we need to recognize that there are a certain number of megatrends that determine, by and large, the challenges that Europe must face, megatrends that are rapidly changing today's world, also from a European perspective. We're talking about the demographic changes, an aging population in Europe, but not just in Europe. We're talking about urbanization, globalization, climate change, scarcity of resources, the ongoing ICT revolution. And we have no choice but to respond to them. We cannot isolate ourselves from them. And if Europe does not respond to these competitive challenges, it may no longer find itself at the forefront of global economic activity. Unless urgent action is taken, there's a real risk that Europe could lose its industrial and technological base, putting the EU's economy's continued ability to provide quality employment under threat. And this is no scaremongering, it is simply an extrapolation of a number of trends that we're all well aware of. The center of gravity of world economy and trade is moving increasingly towards Asia. India and China's share in global R&D spending could very well double to 20% over the next years. And if the EU is not joined by other continental powers in its fight against climate change, the impact of our efforts to reduce global CO2 emission will remain marginal. And it's against this setting that ERT is clear that reaching the goals of our vision will not be an easy thing. But ERT very much wants Europe to still be an attractive place to live and work in 2025. It should continue to stand for a high quality of life for its citizens, offering prosperity and social well-being. But in order to do that, urgent transformation is necessary to achieve this, and far-sighted policy decisions will have to be taken. And we like to emphasize our starting position is good. Europe does have a relatively balanced economy with an advanced industrial and technological base, a sophisticated service sector. The EU single market provides industry with a large home market, which is an essential basis for its ability to compete globally. Its economic policies are generally well-founded, but they're often stifled by uneven implementation and contradictory policies in other areas. Nevertheless, this overall position should give Europe the strength to bring about urgent and far-reaching advancement required to meet the new global challenges and remain an attractive place to live and work. Europe can progress by reinforcing the contribution of its free market economy to the welfare of society. The single market in goods, services, capital, people and knowledge should be completed. It should be governed by smart regulation to ensure that the gains from free and fair competition are maximized and benefit society as a whole. A more environmental friendly economy, applying new technologies across all sectors, can create higher levels of employment and the wealth required to sustain good quality of social provision. Europe must harness the strength of its companies in the healthcare sector to enable the provision of high-quality care to its citizens on a sustainable public health budget despite its aging population. A strong and productive manufacturing and technology industry will drive private sector investments in promising new industrial activities, providing the basis for sustainable growth and attractive jobs. All Europeans can benefit from the opportunities presented by this economic dynamism. In our view, Europe's prosperity and social well-being can and should reinforce its global competitiveness. The European economy must be characterized by an ever-improving climate for domestic investment, which would also allow it to continue to attract significant levels of foreign direct investment. A majority of Europe's young citizens should benefit from accessible and high-quality education. Increased take-up of studies in mathematics, science and technology would help Europe to meet the need of strong, innovative companies able to stand high in world performance rankings. We should aim for a strong culture of cooperation between business, education and government. Revolving doors between these three sectors could create a shared understanding of the importance of entrepreneurship, which should permit the development of a common agenda where workforce training, design of a regulatory and tax system, and business development all reinforce each other. Europe must continue to have strong and dynamic companies that flourish as world-renowned innovators. These companies will provide solutions that help tackle societal challenges, including those arising from the global megatrends I alluded to. And in doing so, the EU can put itself in a position to shape and lead global developments as a responsible actor. Dynamic European businesses of all sizes are instrumental in achieving such a leadership position. Industrial and technological companies can form a strong backbone, ensuring the long-term sustainability of the entire EU economy. And a vibrant business environment must support their efforts to maximize productivity, enabling them to place entrepreneurship, innovation, and research and development at the heart of Europe's socio-economic transformation. Europe's diversity can be better harnessed to forge a more self-assured, open and inclusive society. The richness of our people, cultures and histories can inspire a new confidence in Europe's potential to deliver the innovations a globalizing world needs. Europe can transform itself and everybody can benefit. In 2025, Europe's diversity should be turned into a competitive advantage. To turn this vision into reality, Europe, on the way to 2025, must achieve 5 major goals. First, it must become a global champion of sustainable growth, guaranteeing lasting benefit to society.